Well, it's raining, so that might be a good time to sit down and visit a little bit. Listen to the sound of the drops hitting the tents, hitting the tarp, and learn a little bit more about this new camera. Because I'm having heck of bad luck with electronic devices this last week or two. I'm up here just under Wolf Creek Pass. I'll tell you all about it here in a second. Hey everybody, it is Rob, and I'm up here in the San Juan National Forest of southern Colorado, about 15 miles north of Pagosa Springs, and about half a mile south, I had to think it through, of the infamous hairpin turn on Wolf Creek Pass. I mean, literally, it's about a 20-minute walk to the debris field underneath the cliffs where the trucks and other vehicles have gone off down there over the last decades since they put that highway in. And it's a sobering place to go visit, and especially now. You know, I hadn't thought about it until just this moment. I haven't been up there in several years, certainly hadn't been up there since the accident, so who knows how I would deal with it. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about what a pretty cool place this is, and how much I like being up here, and how good it is for my soul to come out and be in the woods, and especially times like right now. I'm the only one here in camp. Happy Hair and a friend of hers are down in town. It is going to be Independence Day weekend. They're going to have the parade on Saturday the 3rd and the fireworks on Sunday the 4th. But her and her friend Connie have, you know, she's got the hair clip business, and they are the they are the hair heroes. I mean, that's no joke either. They sometimes do some wham bam business when they get together. They know how to do what they do. But they're down there doing that. Cornelius, my girl, is I thought she was going to go fishing, but her pole and her tackle box are still here, and I see the other pole over there, so I'm not sure where they are. They may have gone back over, just over here to the south of us, about a quarter mile is where the showers are and the bathroom. We're out in the woods. We're not in, we're on National Forest Service land, which I keep expecting a good ranger to come by and tell us, oh, you can't be here. This is government property and you're not welcome. That may not be completely accurate, but sometimes that's how it feels. I keep promising a video about that. One of these days, maybe I will. I'm still trying to decide what I think about a lot of that, other than the fact I don't like it much. But there's some cabins down there that have been there since the 1930s, and our friends Clinton and Connie are staying in those cabins. They live it up pretty nice. We're not doing too bad here, though, as far as that goes. But while it's good for my soul to be out here in the woods like this, what's not good for my soul is dealing with electronic devices. I'm using my GoPro camera for this video, and it wouldn't be my first choice. I like that little GoPro camera. It does a lot of cool things. But this is the camera I like best, except this stinking thing, this little Sony, all of a sudden doesn't want to take a video. I open it up, I watch the picture come on, and then after a few seconds, it tends, now watch, it's going to work. It worked actually one time yesterday while I was trying to figure out what was going on with it. Here, let's see if I can video that. Maybe I can do that just long enough to, nope, there it went right there. As soon as I started recording, it locked up and did that. So that'll be about 6 seconds worth of nothing. Turn that back off. Anyway, you can see it's locked in. Turn that back on there where I can see the front screen. Come on, there it is. Yeah, see, I don't know if you can see that screen. There's a reflection, but it's still showing the camera that I'm looking at right now. Who knows what's going on? So that's a drag. And here comes the sun out, so now it's going to get hot just after I put this long sleeve shirt on. It's been raining here off and on for a little bit. Been really nice. Really nice. But in addition to this camera not working, this stinking thing here, my cell phone, quit working too. It's been being a little bit jicky the last couple of weeks. Ever since I went down to the Boy Scout ranch, it would just decide not to work. It would say it was dead, and then I'd get it to come back on, and it'd show I had 100% battery, and it would be like that until it decided to quit working again a few minutes later, and now it wouldn't even come on. Earlier when I had it plugged in, the little apple would come on in the middle, and stay on for a little bit and then go right back off again. So sometimes we have to learn things, and I'm learning now about the GoPro camera, trying to do videos with that. But anyway, I'm not going to let that deter me. I'm still going to try to make some videos up here. I'm going to show videos of this new tent we got. I'm going to show videos of doing a little bit of cooking over here. I'm going to show a video. In fact, one of the things I'm kind of working on right now, or in process of, is I found one of my Dutch ovens that is kind of ugly. It is one of the ones, I think, for those of you who don't know some of the backstory, we were up in this part of the world 2 years ago. Boy, next week, a couple of weeks from now, will be 2 years ago that we came up here and picked up Aranza and Sarah off of a big 5-day hiking trip they did with some other people, where they crossed over the Continental Divide. It was a hard trip. It was one of those that they encountered lots of bad elements and a little altitude sickness, and my girls, not surprising to me at all, toughed it out and helped some other people get through kind of a rough camp. There were 2 or 3 other people that had been there that knew what they were doing and did real good too, but I was pretty proud of my girls for that. And then we camped there, and then we went up and did the backpacking trip, and then came back down into New Mexico, south of here, about, I don't know, 3 hours in the mountains down there, and camped, and still had all 3 of my girls, but that's where we were camping and using Dutch ovens and doing stuff, and that was the last time that one got used or done anything with, because about 4 or 5 days after we got home from the accident happened, and I kind of hadn't thought about a lot of stuff like that since then. So, not to be making excuses, but I got some cleanup to do here. I'll even show you, because, you know, if I mess something up, I'll own up to it. Here, my camera went off again. Let me have that back. Come on. Look at there. I don't know if you can see how rusted up the top of that is. The inside's not bad, but the outside got kind of bad. Now, the inside has a bunch of old nasty grease in there that is just a little bit rancid, and I can tell you it don't smell very pretty, but it will do just fine when I kind of brush some of the rust off of this and heat the whole thing up. I can heat that grease up in there, and I can use that to recoat everything, and it'll be all better. And it won't matter if that smells bad, because that'll go away pretty quick. But I'll set that there. This spot, even though it's only a few yards off of the Forest Service road and not very far from a whole bunch of campers and that kind of thing, it's still a pretty nice spot. Usually when we're up here, we are down about another 1.5 miles back in there, where there's a Forest Service campground. But I'm not as inclined to use Forest Service campgrounds anymore, because they're not much in resembling being out in the woods at all. I don't know. I'm not really antisocial, but I don't like camping with somebody close enough I can spit out my front door and hit their trailer. I'm just not into that, and especially when there's a lot of them. Now, in the Forest Service campground, of course, it isn't quite that bad, but there's still tons of people in there. You can hear people all night long and all day long, and that's not why I come out into the woods. It's just not. You know, maybe because I'm old enough, I like to go camping and not know anybody else is even alive, in existence, anywhere, because I like being out where I don't see anybody. Funny that way. But it doesn't work that way. But even still, this right here is a pretty nice spot. There's not very much traffic, an occasional car on the road, once in a while somebody walking by, and everybody's completely friendly. I mean, nobody's rude or jerk or anything. Everybody's nice. We got a river flowing over here behind us that's really nice. In fact, here in a minute I'm going to take a couple of things down there and kind of rinse them off in the river, just because I can. And then we're going to enjoy ourselves up here. Like I say, busted electronic devices notwithstanding, I'm still going to get a couple of videos done and have something to show. I hadn't done a lot of videos lately. It's hard to know why. Seems like my inspiration comes and goes, as they say. My brain doesn't work as good as it used to, that's for sure. My brain never did work real good, did it? Y'all know that. But Recently, it doesn't seem to do a lot of the things it used to. It comes in waves. Isn't that funny how that works? Be be coherent and doing real good stuff for a while, and then go for a few days and can't hardly even remember my name. Obviously, I can. I'm stretching the point a little bit. What do they call that? Exaggerating or overemphasizing it, something like that. But as I said, being out here in the woods is good for me. I get out here, and of course, I remember a lot of stuff. I remember being out here with family and friends, and I've been doing this stuff my whole life. The lanterns up here, the Coleman lanterns. I'll see if I can slide a picture of that. When they're burning at night. The Dutch ovens, the camp stoves, the outdoor cooking, just everything about being outside. I've done that since as far back as my memory will go. My earliest memories, some of my earliest memories, are of being camped out with my parents and my grandparents and a couple of my aunts and uncles, and cooking food over a fire and fishing in a river and sleeping outside, and in one case, no tents. I've probably mentioned that before. My family just didn't use a lot of tents. We would get under tarps sometimes, and I just can't remember using tents when I was a kid. I don't know, we just didn't. We'd throw blankets down on the ground, or sometimes we'd have cots, and in this one case, I bet I'm going to say 3 or 4 years old, maybe 5 years old. I don't know how old I was. In the middle of the night, a couple of raccoons got in a fight under my cot. Started squabbling over a piece of food or something they found right under my cot. Kind of scared me, but it was kind of cool too. I wanted to look over the edge, but either my mom or dad suggested I go ahead and just mind my own business while they were having that fight. Probably a good idea that I did that, but it's one of those memories that's so far back I only have snapshots of it. But this is what I like to do. I've done a lot of it, and I hope I get to do a lot more of it. I love camping with my wife. She's all in. She loves coming out here and being out in the middle of it, and cooking over a fire, and cooking, just in this. This is not very primitive. The Forest Service, I don't think we should have a fire right now. Everything's wet and green, but for whatever reason, they don't think a campfire is a good idea, and they may be right. There's a lot of stupid people out there that just don't know how to manage a fire, take care of a fire. They'll run off and leave it going, and that screws things up for the rest of us, and I don't know. It's aggravating. But nonetheless, I have propane stoves, I have white gas stoves. In fact, I almost forgot, I brought the stuff, a little dual fuel stove. I was going to do a little video on that, boil up some water, cook something just to show it. I haven't really used it to cook with yet. I've lit it one time to see if it works. I'm going long here, but I guess it just feels good to be talking to everybody, and so that's what I was doing. But I may do this as a little standalone video and do several little short videos of some of the stuff I do. I'll do a video of getting that stinking old that Dutch oven cleaned up, and we'll see what else we come up with. But I won't get this published. We won't get home until I started to wish everybody a happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day, but we're not going to be back home until around the 7th or 8th, so it'll be late when it gets there. I got another idea for a video series I'm thinking about doing. I've mentioned it before, and I don't want to keep mentioning it until I actually do it. I hadn't decided quite how I'm going to wrap my head around that one yet. Just kind of a more serious, somber. It won't be for everybody. It won't be that kind of series. It'll be one that maybe might be able to help an occasional person that might be going through something. I don't know. I got to make a lot of notes. I don't want to flub that one up. So anyway, I hope that all of you have had at this point a great Independence Day and a good celebration. And despite what some naysayers say, this is still a pretty good place to live. There's other countries that are fun to go visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. I've visited some other countries. Some of them are pretty neat, great people. Pretty much anywhere you go in the world, you're going to find great people. You're going to find some people that aren't so great. Same thing across the United States. You're going to find some people that are terrific, and mixed in with those people are going to be some people you just really can't see much use for. That's how it goes. All in all, though, I think I'll keep living in America. I like it here. We got a lot of stuff that needs to be changed. We got some stuff that has gone astray. Our government has gotten way, way, way out of hand. They are the government that our founding fathers warned us about and tried to make sure never happened. But we, and I'll include myself in that, we've let it happen. Now, if we can fix it, that'll be something good. We'll see. I think it was Ben Franklin that when somebody asked him, what have you created or what have you done? And he said, we've given you a republic if you can keep it. Well, we're on the edge of not keeping it, and we need to figure out how to do that. I don't think there's any easy answers. You know, I don't think we can point fingers at everybody and say you didn't do your part, because most of us have not done our part. You know, most of y'all are like me, and you've called senators and you've called congressmen and you've railed on government people. They don't really want to hear it, though. You know, they act like they do, but they kind of don't. How we fix that, I'm not sure. But we all need to be aware, and y'all all know the story. You know the drill. Anyway, I will sign out at this point. I'll tip my hat to you just like a good Texas boy would, and I'll say thanks for being here. I appreciate y'all.